Hi, I'm Chris. I'm the researcher who created this presentation. I hope to have created a smooth, simple way of explaining what I researched and why. Before I get too involved in explaining the information I gathered, I first need to provide a little background to what I'm studying and who I am as a person. First off, I'm a creative writer. I write books. I also grew up with equal space spent in a physical workspace, clear of computers, and a digital workspace with a word processor. Aspects of the physical workspace that were quite common in the 80s and 90s don't have quite the same focus they used to. Take a corkboard, for instance. I used to pin all sorts of stuff to a wall-mounted board that took up half a wall in my room. I still see a benefit to it, yet until recently I didn't know how it could fit into my digital workspace. So as a creative writer who wishes to understand the impact of reintroducing some of the important aspects of a physical desktop into a digital workspace, I looked around online and found a bunch of people talking about Scrivener as the go-to for creative writing. I checked it out and found strange similarities to my pre-digital life workspace. I decided to follow the evolution of the Corkboard, visual file system, and other spatial aspects of a physical workspace that had found their way into a digital one. Creativity. There's been considerable amount of research done toward what constitutes creativity, how one identifies a healthy creative workspace, and how to improve on a creative workspace. One researcher identifies the importance of flexibility in a creative workspace while understanding there's a complex psychological component in play. Some people are fueled by external motivations, while others find energy from the inside. From a creative perspective, it's the same as someone answering why they play a sport. Do you have a dream to get scouted by a college, which is external? Do you love the thrill of exercise, which is internal? The same motivators exist for creative writing. Some people are creative for external reasons, while others are creative for internal reasons, and many exist somewhere between. A good digital workspace requires a fulfillment of both the external and internal motivators. These motivators have an overlap with the next slide as well. Extrinsic versus intrinsic. The first focus I must make is toward the motivations of a user of digital technologies. Many researchers identify a traditionally extrinsic view in understanding the relationship between a user of digital technology and the technology itself. Physical tools were developed with the user in mind. The Postit note, file systems, and a corkboard are seen as blank spaces wherein a user can change the function of the tool to improve on work efficiency and organization. The leap into the digital workspace, while continuing to improve work efficiency and organization, lost some of the usefulness of physical tools to file systems that were hidden, note systems that required time and energy to call forward, and a spatial organization that was rigid and unyielding to the user. Therefore, the extrinsic value of a digital workspace was clear, while the importance of intrinsic value could not be achieved with ease through early digital technology. The Scrivener page. Scrivener's focus on a few key points are highlighted in the topics listed to the right of the page and left of the Post-it notes. These detail the findings I made while working with the Scrivener program. While you observe those slides, please try and keep in mind how physical properties of a workspace have evolved into usable items. While the word processing aspect of Scrivener is still central and integral to the rest of the program's function, other tools are readily available and clearly placed. A user might spend a few days organizing the file system to the left before even touching the processor, as an example. Clean desk. One of the images taken from Malone's desk study, the clean desk focuses clearly on how a user orders function in an environment that collects and sends many paper documents in one day. Note the 3 trays, A, D, and E, of documents and 5 piles, B, C, G, H, and I. Also note the bulletin board in the upper right corner where the user tacks important information. Messy desk. A second image taken from Malone's desk study. The messy desk identifies many scattered piles, groupings, and identifiers. Also note the 2 bulletin boards and blackboard on the left side of the picture. Although this isn't the ideal organizational structure, both the cleaned and messy desk users must be in mind when developing a digital workstation like Scrivener. Neither form of piling stacks together are currently available on more traditional word processing programs. Piles and files. The image on the left identifies the left side of the Scrivener visual space. In observing the piles or files of information located in this image, one can see how the messy nature of creative writing can become a part of the Scrivener layout. Note the pile for the manuscript, filtered into a subpile of chapters, and filtered further into individual scenes found within a chapter. Farther down the line, note the characters pile, where a stack of character sheets are waiting to be quickly accessed. And even farther, note the trash can, where the piles go when removed from the original lineup. All of these piles can be renamed and re-identified at will from the Other Icons image, noted on the right. Corkboard. Also known as a bulletin board, chalkboard, blackboard, or whiteboard, this board allows for physical manipulation of scenes, chapters, topics, subheadings, or whatever one needs. In a spatial manner, one can jumble the scenes into any combination to better identify the complexities of layout. This can also function as a separate file from the Piles and Files function on Scrivener, allowing for true aspects of a corkboard where one places information like a calendar, grocery list, or a strategic reminder for dinner plans. Post-its. Post-it notes are currently relegated to the right side of the screen as a sub-menu. While this function is similar to the Track Changes function on Microsoft Word, it also serves to allow third-party input on text. Note the different font choices on the right side, denoting personal affectation for personalized commentary. Scratchpad. The functionality of a pad of paper and a pencil didn't have a place on a digital workspace program before Scrivener. While operating systems like Apple products have the Notes system and Windows has WordPad, usability was relegated to the time-consuming process of clicking on a program, clicking on a new note, and then typing the information. Scrivener's Scratchpad uses Control and Shift and Enter to call up a note where the user can send to any project as a new pile, without the process of copy-paste from Note to an open document, or hunting down the save file folder somewhere. While not exactly like a physical pad and pencil, it is quick and concise. Blank desktop. One of the beautiful things about a cleared desktop is the thrill of a blank page and a space free of distractions. Scrivener's focus on clearing the desktop for those who need clarity of workspace to achieve clarity of mind supports those of the clean desk variety, and those who are at a deadline and require specific focus. The Scratchpad functions in this view as well. Outliner. Scrivener's third way of looking at the files a user creates, the first two being a standard Scrivenings view, as noted on the main page, and the Corkboard view, is the metadata-heavy outliner view. This function tracks word count for each file, color codes scenes or chapters, allows for short synopses, and any number of ways a user could benefit from additional file functionality. Identified last on the lineup, this function transcends the physical workspace environment to improve in ways only a digital workspace can: metadata. While I specifically used these 6 works in my presentation, the field is full of conversation concerning creativity, user-friendliness in the digital workspace, and how to better develop technology in the future. I hope you liked my presentation, and I hope my research made sense. If you have any questions or issues, or wish to view the full Prezi link, please email me at cheis2@uis.edu. Thanks!